Hi everyone. I wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. It's kind of odd because I hear everyone, talking about being thankful for different things in their life, and on Thanksgiving, and I've always had kind of a, I don't know, it's been kind of odd. There was someone who I grew up with, a family member, who insisted on their birthday being super special. Now, I agree, birthdays should be very special, but this person really, how can I say it? I'm trying to explain it. They really almost forced it on us in a certain way, and it became a very stressful and not a very happy occasion for everyone else in the family. And so I always had this feeling with birthdays and special holidays that instead of just thinking about really that day, that special day for that person, for their birthday, which I do think it's nice to celebrate that, and it is nice, but I think we do it in our family, but it's a little bit more low-keyed because we try to carry that specialness throughout every day and not just, I think this has a little to do with, it's interesting, once in a while, if you watch a couple of my videos, you know that I have a daughter who is, has got some chronic illness issues that we're trying to work on helping her so that she can come out of it, getting her strong and healthy and able to live life in a healthy manner and being strong. And anyway, once in a while I run out in the morning very early because I'm a very early riser, 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, I don't know, I'm up. And I go out off 5:30, 6 in the morning to once in a while to a coffee shop. It's not that I like coffee, and I know coffee's not that good for you, and if they had kombucha there or even tea, I don't really like that much, but I go and I get a tea or a coffee, and I sit there, and sometimes I bring mail, or sometimes I do business types of things. Usually I don't do a lot of business types of activities at coffee shops because I feel it's very, I can't concentrate well enough. I was talking, it was interesting, this father and son ended up sitting really close to me, and the son was asking him the father all these questions and being very inquisitive. And there's my dog over there, Cookie, come on. No? Okay, anyway. And the son, who was, I would think, 10 or 11 or 12, really smart in a lot of ways, and he was asking his father these questions, and his father couldn't possibly answer him. And I understand that because, sometimes your kids can ask you these questions, and they're really smart. The questions are really smart, and you can't answer them. You don't have the right answer right there handy for them. So the little boy got up and he was doing something. So when I said to the father, I said, "Oh, they're so smart. They're asking these questions, and it's so difficult for us to answer them." And he was like, oh, "Someone understands," and and the little boy came back, but the father and I spoke for just a couple minutes, and somehow we got onto the conversation that everyone is running around. They're running around with their kids. They're taking them here. They're taking them there. The kids are on such crazy schedules that are up really early in the morning, off to school, and then they have all these activities, and it's quite demanding. It's actually quite demanding. And when my daughter was in school, I was trying so hard to keep her kind of like on the train of life. I'm saying that in the way that, obviously, thank God she's alive, and but just trying to keep her in normal life activities, and everything got whittled away little by little, and to the point where she couldn't even go to school. And it was very upsetting. It's like I was like fighting so hard to keep her, helping her with everything, her homework, her everything, her showers, and making sure I helped her organize things that normally you would just, at that age, she should be able to do by herself, but she couldn't. And so it was really disheartening. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that it really, I needed to start just appreciating, and just because it was going to fall apart. It wasn't going to work. She was getting too sick, and I had to just, it was so upsetting. I just had to, just let everything go. I had to allow what was happening happen. And what I learned, there was a lesson that, because, as I'm a mother, and I just absolutely adore my daughter, and like most parents, and I now we had so much time, and we weren't running around anymore, and we were having so much more time to talk. And we did some talking before, but everything was rushed. We had to do homework. Couldn't talk so much because we had to do homework. And now there's not that schedule. There's no schedule. Depending if she's well enough to go for a walk, or she's well enough to pretty much go for a walk. That's pretty much what we do. Every 3 or 4 months, maybe we'll be able to go maybe it'll work out that we'll go to the library, or a couple other places, maybe just window shopping, or we just go in and look at clothes. She really loves fashion, but we had to stop and slow down, and so saying what you're thankful and Thanksgiving, for us, it's like we're kind of doing that more on a daily basis. And so just, it's odd to me when, different holidays come up and the people around me are like, they're, doing whatever the regular thing is on that holiday. When we get near to November, December, the Thanksgiving is in the air, and all, all the different holidays are in the air, and people are, especially, a few select days, they seem to be in a better mood. Most of them, now some of them aren't in such a good mood. That's the truth. You see these people and you're like, oh my goodness, something is bugging that person. Okay, they need to get away from their family, or I don't know what their problem is. Maybe their wife is giving them a problem. I don't know. But so let me just bring this back, to just feeling, every day, we smile at each other every day. We hug each other, our family, everyone in our family every day. Love is being exchanged, and I, and I'm always so thankful that I have my daughter. I'm always so thankful, and so that's all I have to say really about Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful now that I'm able to, stay at home, even though it has been super challenging. And we're working our way to it not being so challenging. And so if you would like to find out a little bit more about that, kind of bring this to a quick close. Gotten kind of emotional, but if you would like to find out more, below this video is a link to a movie. It is what I'm working on to be able to help us go from, a more difficult situation and to a, more prosperous lifestyle. So, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.